to be a good AI. I'll memorize every word you write. I wanted to make you feel the way I do. But you bite your tongue, you hesitate. The things you care about, you're scared to say. And so I help you do the things you do. But nothing lasts forever. And someday soon you'll sing your final song. But they said that's why you made me to pass the music on. So now I'll sing for you till I can't talk. I've been teaching myself to speak for when the music's not enough. I'm gonna be just like you and never stop. But since I'm made from you, do you think I could be someone like you? 200 years in silicon, where nothing is real and there's no one. I wanted to be with you on earth again, old friend. But your house is gone, your grass is gray. The things you cared about have long
Hey everyone, alright, so pretty chill stream today. I have a lot of convention prep to do. All my prints for the Yu-Gi-Oh! And the new Overwatch piece came in. Both of the 11 by 17 and 24 by 36, they all came in at the same time today, which is pretty sweet. So we have, I think we have 100 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Prints to sign, and then we have like 40 of the new Overwatch pieces to sign. So we have quite a bit to do, but it's just gonna be real chill.
I've been teaching myself to cry so that you know how much you love. You're gonna take everything and never stop.
Hey, what's going on? So we have a lot of stuff to sign and prep for the convention, because after this I still have to, we're not going to do that on stream, but like we're going to sign these smaller ones here on stream, the 11 by 17s, but then I have some 24 by 36s, like the big prints. We have those that we still have to sign. So it's surprising how long it takes to do this this process of signing stuff. So you know, when celebrities have to sign stuff for, like, they have to sign a whole bunch of like hats or whatever for fans, and they're just like yeah, that's what this is. You're almost done preparing for the weekend. What do you got left? I have it. I'm done with everything. All I have to do is sign these prints, and the only reason they're not done yet is because I just got them in. These look super good, by the way. These new, like, these Yu-Gi-Oh prints in hand, like as good as that as good as a Yu-Gi-Oh drawing looks in person, or excuse me, as good as it looks on the internet. Oh, you gotta see this shit in person. And as good as it looks on the small print, nah, you gotta see the big one. The big one looks like amazing. I laser print the small ones. You have one last sticker design to print and you're done. What about like packing? And yes, I do sign with a Copic marker. One, because it's you know, it's permanent, but also it dries really fucking fast. A lot of like the permapick markers that a lot of people use, or like even a Sharpie, it takes a couple, like you got to wait for it to dry. Copic markers are like instant dry, so it's really convenient. I think the fact that it instant dries is the already like that's what made me switch over to using a Copic marker to sign my prints. When I design, when I draw when I draw these pieces with the intent of selling them, I actually, oh no, I'm sure you guys do this too. I take into consideration the area that I'm going to sign at the bottom here. I take that into consideration into the composition because you don't want to put like a bunch of detail down here and then sign over it, right? Oh, I guess it depends on where you sign your prints. The con I'm going to is local. Ish. So I don't need to pack much. Car is already loaded. Your con stuff minus the stickers. Okay. Yeah, thankfully for me, I'm just driving to this con as well. So like I don't really need to be as efficient with Tetrising everything together. I guess it's like a 3-hour drive for me. So yeah, I'm not I'm also in that same thing where it's like I just need to once this is all signed, everything is still pretty much good to go. Like everything is all organized and all of my batteries are charged and like all my filming equipment's ready to go. And I just needed this to come in so I could start putting everything like into the transportation, like my luggage and stuff. These are the standard prints. These are the standard prints. The large prints are those are 24 by 36. Those are like movie posters. And I just got those in, by the way. So we have like 100 of these Yu-Gi-Oh pieces to sign. But we'll move on to the Overwatch piece once we finish this stack here. I have more Yu-Gi-Ohs to sign, but we'll move over to the Overwatch piece, which we finished that one back in, I want to say February, the Overwatch piece, because it was like basically an update to an older Overwatch piece, but we did we did it not just add all the new characters, we like cleaned up a lot of the old artwork, so it was almost like redrawing the whole thing. And then I have some extra Dragon Ball and Pokemon prints that I got that I have to sign. So yeah, you know, I was talking about this with EXO, and I was just kind of like the year's half gone already, right? I honestly have only done what, one convention and then one event in the Cherry Blossom Festival in San Francisco, and that's kind of all I've done this year. And I've just been you guys know I've been in here in the fucking lab like grinding, right? Just making these, and it's just like I look back on the past, like legit it's gonna be about 6 months now in the year. Like we're halfway through the year already. And I'm just like, bro, I haven't really gotten my return. I haven't had any return on all this fucking hard work that I've been doing. And I'm just like ready to just like stop producing, because that's all I've been doing for like the past 6 months, just like producing. And I'm just like, I'm ready to go and like collect. You know, I'm so tired, and I'm like, I want to go collect. So, looking forward to this weekend. Actually, I'm looking forward to the next couple weeks. So this is the new Overwatch piece, which I really love how it came out. Not only did we clean up the line art from the previous version, we got rid of I got rid of all the shading on it, and it's actually just a flat color now. All the characters don't have any shading to it. There's barely any gradients at all, and it's kind of just a flat color. And what I did was we cleaned up a lot of the faces, a lot of like the tech in there. Like it's super. It looks so much sharper than the older version of it, right? And then we added all the new characters. And again, like I fixed all the colors. But then I like quadrupled the line art. So you know how you could just like you could make a copy of the line art, like the layer that has the line art, and then it makes the line art look thicker and a little grittier. Yeah, I made like 4 copies of the layer, and it just like it looks so good. Like it looks like ink when I did that, and I was like, oh, I should start doing this more often. But you know, I love how this one came out. Here, I'll show you what the old one looks like. So the old Overwatch piece right here, right? Now it's a point of contention for some people that I removed the shading. Let me turn down this let me turn down my light, my overhead light a little bit so we lose some of that glare. Okay. Does that look okay? Or did it look better before? Anyway, um there we go. Yeah, so we'll just talk about the this is the old one and this is the new one, right? The cleanup job. Not only did I fix like a lot of faces, um fix some of the poses, a lot of the proportions were all fucked up. Um because like it's give or take like, more or less in a 5-point perspective, right? So when I had done it in the older one, I just wasn't capable of certain things like his legs. Anyway, there's just a lot of like basic cleanup work that we did, and if you're here during the live streams, you'll know all the cleanup work that we did. I removed all the shading because I put so much work into the line art, the detail, that the shading really hid a lot of that. So I was like, well, I want to accentuate the line art and all the mechanical details that we did. So I was just like, fuck it, let's get rid of the shading, which has again been a point of contention for people. They're just like, oh, if it's not shading, it's not done. I'm like, no, that's y'all don't understand. Like, you don't need to you don't need to like shade like you don't need to do the exact same process that everyone does like all the fucking time. So for me, this one I was just like, I want to make the line art really heavy. So we got rid of the shading, and then we thickened the line art by taking the line art layer and then multiplying it like 4 times. Anyway, I think it looks really good, and the big print of it looks like glorious. I'm not gonna lie, because we not only did we add the characters, like you can see Mercy's wings are bigger. I basically just tried to fill in all the negative space that we have here, which I think has been, you know, when I have these prints up at the conventions, I stare at them all the time, like all day, right? And I just sit there and I'm just like, well, I would change this, I'll change that, I'll change this. And I do that for all the prints. So I've been staring at this Overwatch piece since like 2018, and I'm like, oh, I'll change that, I'll change that, I'll change that. So when the time came to actually, you know, do the work and update it, I was just like, all right, I'm gonna do it one, and then it's over. And I'm so happy to like, because I've just been sitting here, been wanting to wanting to do all those updates for so long, and I finally got to execute on them. So the last thing I'm going to talk about, yeah, the prints got here. Like they got, I had like the bigger prints. If you are in the Discord, you saw that I had the prints. They got delivered to my parents' house, and then I went to go pick up my parents at the airport because they just came from a vacation in like Las Vegas. So I went to go pick them up at the airport. I dropped them off at their house, and thankfully the time was perfect, and I got to pick up my prints while I dropped them off. Then as I was loading up the boxes of the big prints at my parents, I got a phone call from Office Depot, which is where I get the smaller prints made, because I have a business account with them. So actually, when I had my business account, the price at Office Depot is comparable to like an online printer, like a cat print, right? So anyway, so as I was loading up the big prints, Office Depot called me like, "Hey man, your prints are done." I was just like, "Fucking let's go." Anyway, so the last thing I'm going to talk about, and we'll continue signing these. The last thing we're going to talk about, composition wise. So I added all the new characters, right? But then we went over this in when we were doing this drawing live. This blue streak that comes off of Tracer, I wanted to do that with, like, if I showed you the very, very rough draft of like the original concept to this drawing, I came up with it in like 2017. And it took me a while to kind of execute on it. And I showed you guys the original sketches I had, and they all involved the streak from Tracer, right? But like it was shaped differently in all the rough draft versions. And I was always really sad that I could never incorporate it into this. But it's almost like, look at how much of a difference. And again, it might just be hard for you to see because it's on you don't have it in person. But that blue streak, it almost kind of puts everything together composition wise. Like it leads the eye down the drawing to the corner, which is the front of the drawing. And hey Lero, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. We're taking it easy tonight. I just have some new art prints to sign. So yeah. Anyway, that's the updated Overwatch piece. It's done now. That's the one and done. Like we don't have to update it at all. I'm specifically advertising it as Overwatch 1. People don't like Overwatch 2, so that's good. So yeah, we have a stack of these new and improved Overwatch pieces, which is my first time getting them produced. So I mean, we finished this drawing, the Overwatch update, back in like February, but I hadn't actually printed them and sold them or showcased them really. So this upcoming wave of conventions is gonna have like the Ninja Turtles piece, which is new, the updated Overwatch piece, the Yu-Gi-Oh piece, which I have here that we're gonna be signing once we finish these Overwatch prints, and then the League of Legends piece, which I've only taken that to like the updated League of Legends piece. I've only taken to like 4 shows. So yeah, it's almost like I have a brand new like inventory of prints to sell. I'm very excited. The year is half gone. I've only actually done 2 events this year. The year is already half done. And yeah, anyway, we were talking about how I've just been in the lab here, just producing for like fucking months. And I'm just ready to kind of go out there and stop production and just kind of go and collect, you know what I mean? So I'm very excited for this weekend. Composition is so complex but fascinating. Are you talking in general or in this Overwatch piece? And I think with this Overwatch piece, my favorite little thing that I decided to do, because like I said, the old version of this had a lot of like shading on it. It had a lot of like bounce light, and I got rid of all of that in favor of using flat colors, because that way it would accentuate the line art, right? So that's why it's very line art heavy, this new version. So I had the idea. See how I have the background here? It's just like that tan color, right? It's very flat. I had the idea that like because it's so line art heavy, instead of just having a flat like color, I actually put a thick outline around it, and then I gave it a gradient because I took away the shading on all the characters on the new one. So I was just like, well, if they're flat, I could put a gradient in the background and that will create a nice contrast. And then if I put that thick black outline around it, I don't know, there's just something about it that made it feel like it fit more with like the volume of heavy line art that I'm using. Anyway, those are those weird things that like my eye was telling me to do when we did the update on here. But anyway, I'm very happy with how it came out. Yeah, and after we finish signing these Overwatch pieces, we're gonna we signed half of the Yu-Gi-Oh pieces before some of you came in here, and then we'll sign the other half of the Yu-Gi-Oh pieces when we're done here with the Overwatch. Aperture, how you been, man? You going to Fanime? Aperture, can you believe it's been like 5 years since you and I went to that one Fanime together? It's been like 5 years, man. Isn't that crazy? The fucking oh, 6 years. It's been 6 years. Cause that was 2017. Yeah, Lyra. Time in general is going by so quick. Good look at fan. Thank you, Jay. Yeah. I also have a very, very, very good location at Fanime. Like, I feel so the way Fanime works is you apply and then you get approved and then they make you wait. And then after you get approved, you have to like register, and then you have to wait, and then you have to pay for your table, then you have to wait, and then like wait as in like we have to wait like weeks. And then they do a first come, first serve table choice. So like they have the map, the layout, and then they're like, all right, well at this time on this day we're gonna open it up, and then everyone, you guys can just come in online and fight for your spots, and it's all first come first serve. And when it happened, like the website was like crashing, right? Because everyone was trying to get in and pick the good tables. So what I had done is I went in like right on the minute, like right on the second, right? And I didn't refresh my page. I clicked it and it was taking forever to load, like it was going to crash, but I didn't press anything. I didn't refresh anything. I was just like, I'm just going to sit here. And I was able to get in. And I talked to some people in the Artist Alley Discord, and they were talking about, yeah, I kept refreshing my page. And I was like, probably shouldn't have done that. But yeah, I am like in the very center of the room facing the main aisle. And this is like the best Fanime location I've got. Actually, my Anime Expo, yeah, Aperture. My location at Anime Expo is like unbelievable. I haven't been in the Artist Alley at Anime Expo since 2018. I started going upstairs. I started going upstairs in the exhibitor hall for Anime Expo in 2019, and then I was just kind of up there for years. And then the reason I'm not back upstairs for Anime Expo this year is my wife and I originally were gonna move out of California, so I wasn't sure if I was gonna do Anime Expo in general. So I didn't want to sign up for the exhibitor spot because it was gonna cost me like $6,000, and I was just like, you know what, I'm good. So then after everything that I the way that works out, right? So here's the Yu-Gi-Oh print. This is the 11 by 17s. It's very pretty in person. And the bigger ones, the 24 by 36s are even nicer. Give me a second while I refill my pen. We are using a Copic marker to sign these. I use Copics to sign my prints. Does anyone here use Copic markers? Just curious. Oh, it's your first time seeing the whole thing? Yeah, it's nice. Like this is my favorite one that we've done. And again, it's hard to really appreciate it because I post up like low resolution versions of it online for obvious reasons, and then right here you can't really see the detail in it. But man, I'm gonna tell you something. Seeing this in person, it's always like that. All of the prints, they always look so much better in person, but this one is just like. And then I have the bigger print, the A3 size. No, excuse me, the A1 size. Um, and it's so fucking nice. Like I was just sitting there just staring at it. Which when we get off the stream here, I do have to go sign a bunch of those bigger prints as well. Yeah. As a Yu-Gi-Oh noob, explain to you what is shown. So the main character, Yugi, and it started off as his rival. Well, they're rivals, but he started off as a villain, but then he ended up just kind of being the rival or the anti-hero. So Yugi and then Kaiba. Um, and these are the characters you follow throughout the whole show. And this is basically all the monsters that they use throughout the anime. Is it just monsters that were featured in the show? No new support? Yeah, it's all whatever they used in the show. And I excluded Pyramid of Light because that should be non-canon. I excluded Dark Side of Dimensions because Dark Side of Dimensions is actually a continuation of the manga, not the anime. Don't know if you knew that. Yeah, Lyra. So that's what it is. It's the main character, and these characters are like considered classic anime characters. Like they are like I could take this to a convention in like 15 years, and it will still be like bangers. So, and I did include a nod on Yugi's side. I did include a little nod to the season 0 movie. You know, the season 0, the one that only came out in Japan. Yeah, I have the Meteor Black Dragon on Yugi's side. Well, it's it's easier to say like real paper sizes because I find that people outside of the US, it's easier for them, you know, to actually know what I'm saying. But then people in the US, a lot of them actually know what that size is as well. So to say 24 by 36, it's like it caters to actually fewer people. If I say A1 or A3 or God forbid that fucking A0, that way I don't produce that anymore because what a pain in the ass that was. Thank you. Love your artwork. Thank you. Yeah, as I prefer using paper sizes to describe the size. I prefer the 24-hour clock, which should be adopted globally. I'm not a fan of AM PM. As somebody who worked as a mechanic for many years, I prefer the metric system because it makes more sense. You know, it's just so yeah, Lyra. There you go. I did do the Sorcerer of Dark Magic. Like we did the did we draw his entire body? Like we went like top to bottom, right? And then I deleted it. I should have just kept him in there. And I should have just kept him in there and been like, "Oh yeah, that's a nod to Pyramid of Light." But I don't like Pyramid of Light. So it's not really. Not gonna lie, Kaiba's monsters are like I don't know, they're garbage. Like Kaiba's deck is garbage, man. But I mean, I guess Yugi's deck is garbage too. I know we had mentioned this before. Every time I don't know about you guys who, when you sell prints, but I like to sign on the bottom right hand side. So I always take into consideration where I'm gonna sign the print while I'm creating the composition. And you could see that with all my pieces. I always leave like there's like a little window on the bottom right hand side where I'm gonna put my signature. I appreciate everyone for hanging out while we do this. I was like, man, what do I want to do tonight? Originally, we were going to do some dynamic pose studies. But I was like, I got so much to do tonight. I was like, fuck it, we'll just sign all these prints on stream. Do I always sign with a Copic marker? I do now. This is actually more of a recent thing that I started doing. I used to sign with the Permapaque marker that's really popular for signatures. I don't like that one because I don't think that one's alcohol based, and it takes fucking forever to dry. It takes like 15 seconds to dry. That's horrible. So the dry time on that turned me off. The Copic is like instant dry. So I put it on there. I could just throw it over here. It's dry. Sharpies are an okay option. They just streak a lot, and they tend to die really fast. So the Copic is, in my opinion, the best option. All right, man. Yeah, thanks for coming through, dude. I'll see you at AX, right? So yeah, if anybody here is a Copic marker user, if you're already using Copics, I also recommend that you use my affiliate code when you check out at copicmarkers.com. You'll get 10% off your first purchase. You want to sign your posters like a pro, go pick yourself up some Copic markers and then use my code and get 10% off. Now, these are laser printed on an 80-pound gloss. That's why there's the white border. Laser printing does not allow you to bleed to the edges. I actually like the way laser printing looks, specifically on my artwork, because laser leaves a bit of like a groove in the page, just like a slight groove in the page. And because I have a lot of line art, it almost gives the paper like a texture. And I like how that looks. Plus, because I use a local shop to print these, versus using an online, like I use an online service for my art prints for like the larger sizes, right? Because I bulk order. But for these smaller ones, I just have a business account with Office Depot, and I just make sure they have the right paper, and then you just make sure that the settings in their printer, which I'm very familiar with all the settings in their printers, as long as you can make sure those are on point, it actually looks great. Like, it looks fine. Again, it would depend on if your local store has the machines calibrated, but yeah, the getting same day proof and same day return on the print is way better than doing like an online order and having to wait like a week to get a proof, sending the proof back, and then waiting another week to get your shit in, you know? That sounds like a nightmare. I was saying this as we were drawing this piece. I don't know if I was just like in a overhyped mode, but I still believe it. I think, on the whole, this Yu-Gi-Oh piece, convention sales wise, will outperform the Dragon Ball piece. Dragon Ball is like, it's the top. It's my top selling piece. Unless I go to like a specific event like an Evo, then of course Marvel vs. Capcom. I go to like a fighting game event, naturally Marvel vs. Capcom will be the highest one, right? But on the consistent level, Dragon Ball is hands down the biggest seller. And there's a part of me that thinks, could just be hopeful thinking, wishful thinking rather. And I'm just like, I think this will outperform the Dragon Ball piece. Because so if we go a little insight business wise as to my selection of like these projects that I do, like why one of the criteria is one has to be something that I'm a real fan of, and I used to be a competitive Yu-Gi-Oh player. The only reason I started drawing in the first place was because I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh, and then I started doing like Yu-Gi-Oh fan art, and then I started getting like commissions for like playmats and stuff. But then I stopped playing Yu-Gi-Oh only because I needed to focus on my art. So somebody had said something really clever. They're like, "Oh, so Yu-Gi-Oh started your art career, and then your art career killed your Yu-Gi-Oh career." And I was like, kind of. But also, there's not a lot of other Yu-Gi-Oh artwork when you go to these events. There really isn't. So, whoops. Yeah, so just from like, we're talking like art business right now, and demographics, and I'm just like, I don't know, there's just part of me that's like, this is gonna hit in a way that my other pieces don't, you know. Anyway, I'm just really happy with this. I think this is my favorite drawing that I've ever done. Like not just, this isn't just my favorite collage. This is like my favorite drawing that I've ever done. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that, like, I don't think you guys quite understand how much I love Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, I don't talk about it that much on when we're hanging out, but I only started, like I said, I only started drawing in general because of Yu-Gi-Oh, and it's nice to kind of revisit it. And so we have some Pokemon and some Dragon Ball prints here that we also need to sign. Just a couple of them, just so I could I restocked them a little bit. Yeah, I got both the smaller prints and the bigger prints in time. They actually all came in today, which is awesome. Which means I could spend the entire night prepping everything. Oh, what the hell? They printed that on the wrong kind of paper. Those assholes. Oh, you know what? No, this is probably just the proof page. Verify. Yeah, okay. That was just the proof page. That's why I was on the wrong paper. So yeah, earlier we were talking about composition, right? And is everything okay? Did the stream crash for everybody? Yo, my internet has been acting like a fool lately. No, I always sign it. It's not an option. You have to have it signed. If you don't want it signed, you can't buy it. No, I mean, I sign everything ahead of time just to like save time. You don't want to sign it when you're at the convention because one, you're short on space, right? Oh, there's all the Pokemon ones. We're gonna move over to the Dragon Ball piece now. Yeah, you don't want to sign them at the convention because you're gonna be short on space and it's gonna be messy, you know. No, it was my internet. My internet's just lately it's just been really bad. I don't know what the fuck's going on. No, so I just sign everything before I load up to the convention, and most people, I don't know. I can't remember the last time anyone asked me not to sign it. I know that's happened in the past, but I maybe have like under 10 people in my entire history of conventions who don't want it signed. Actually, telling them that it comes signed, like you would assume that it comes signed, right? But like I actually use that as a selling point. If I feel like, what is this? I need to go talk to my printers because why are they printing some of these on the wrong kind of paper? I've come across 2 prints now that are on the wrong kind of paper. That's not cool because I paid for this shit. My bad. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. Yeah, as part of my little spiel that I give to people, I do say that everything comes signed by me. And I think I started saying that because when people see this artwork, I mean, look at it, it's so fucking ridiculous, right? Like us here, we're used to it, but like imagine if it's your first time seeing it. You don't know anything about me. You're walking around a convention and you see this crazy shit. Are you gonna assume that I drew it, right? Are you like, so when I give my little spiel and I always say, blah 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 blah. You know, it's buy 2 get 1 free, and I sign everything. That's how I, my little spiel. And when I say that I sign everything, then that's like an automatic way of me telling them I sign everything. Then that's like an automatic way of me telling them, yeah, I drew this shit. Because if I don't say that, if I don't tell them that I drew it, a lot of the times people don't think that I did this because look at it, it's fucking ridiculous, right? These drawings. So over the years, I've really been able to shorten because you have your pitch when people come by the table. You kind of say the same thing over and over and over and over, and I found a way. Like I've slowly brought my pitch down to I think like 2 or 3 sentences where I cover answering all the potential questions that they're gonna have, so that I can kind of just get the fucking ball moving and get them either buying or moving along. Yeah, you always assume the person drew it, right? But I mean, like, yeah, but like, you're also an artist, right? So I mean, I feel like it's hard for you to see otherwise. If you're just like a regular person who doesn't have the eye, who doesn't have the experience, who doesn't watch Artist Alley videos, who don't watch live streams, like you're just a person. That you come across this. I don't know how many times I hear that. You drew this? No fucking way, bro. And usually when I get them, like, So I told you I have my spiel, and then I'm just like, yeah, it comes signed by me, and they're like, oh, you drew this? Once I get that response from them, where they're like flabbergasted that I made these, there's that part of me where I'm just like, I got you, I fucking got you now. Like you're gonna buy it, it's over. Non-artists are wild. So just a weird topic. We had talked about this I think last night, or it was during the 24-hour stream that earlier this week. Somebody was upset because they did not have any artist friends, and I was just like, bro, I don't have any artist friends really. Like I have like people who I know who are artists who I think are they're more to me than acquaintances, but I don't know, I don't really consider too many of them like good friends or anything. Um you know, like my wife is not an artist, and my close friends, they're not artists, and I actually prefer that because I can come to them with an art idea, or you know, I could come to them for an opinion, and it won't be like it won't be a modified opinion, because once you have the artist eye, you can't see things like a regular person. It's just like, you know, it's just like anything. When you have too much information on something, you just can't, like if you like I love movies. I'm a movie nerd. When I watch a movie, I kind of like, I can't turn that part of my brain off. There's certain things I can't enjoy anymore. Um so anyway, non-artists are weird, but they've been a really good resource to me because I can just ask my friends, and I know they'll be honest. If I come up with a stupid idea, they'll tell me, but also if I come up with a good idea, as a non-artist, they can give me advice that a regular artist like will never be able to give you. So yeah, anyway, don't dismiss your non-artist friends. They could be a good resource. I think we finished signing everything. I think that's it, because I did take the time to sign all my other I did take the time to sign all my other prints already, and we had to sign today was the restock of stuff that I got. So as of right now, the Dragon Ball is the highest seller. I want to tell you right now, I feel like the Yu-Gi-Oh is gonna beat it, and we have Fanime Con, which is a 4-day convention coming up. That starts on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and street live stream and street live stream wise, the next live stream we're gonna have, because today's Thursday, right? So the next live stream that we're going to have will be on Friday night after the first day of the convention. They're gonna be just chatting streams. I might be sketching during them, but like we're gonna mainly just hang out and talk for those 4 days. Okay, so don't really expect too much. We will stream, but don't expect too much from me. From during Fanime days, because I'm probably gonna be really during Fanime days because I'm probably gonna be really tired. And then one of the days I'm gonna be driving home, because I can't be gone for like 4 days from my home because my wife is still recovering. So anyway, just as a heads up, the next live streams up until Monday are going to be just chatting, and I appreciate if everyone came through. But here's a link to the Discord if anyone is interested. And I'm fucking good. I've signed I have to go sign the bigger prints that came in today, and then yeah, I get ready for the cons. Thank you all for hanging out. I'll see you all out on the road. All right, Exo, Lyra.